Fitness coach, let me ask you a serious question here. Are you sick and tired of like grinding, hustling to be able to get this high premium, high ticket, high paying online client? I know what that feels like. In this video, I'm gonna teach you how to get your first $3,500 online fitness coaching client. This is the same exact process that we use with our accelerator coaches in our mentorship on how to get $3,500 plus online fitness clients. Now listen, this is not gonna work if you're a brand new beginner, okay? You have to have some experience, you have to have some clients, you have to be making a little bit of money, right? For these 3 steps to be implemented and work, okay? So just remember that. We have some other videos if you're just starting off that's gonna get you guys on the right track. You can come back and watch this and implement these 3 steps and that'll just catapult. Okay, so why should you listen to us? We've been in the industry 16 years, guys. 10 of those years, we've had our own online health and fitness business. And then basically the past 6 years, we have Dynamic Fit Pros, where we've helped out over 900 plus health and fitness coaches grow their online coaching business, okay? So in this video, get out your phone apps, get out your guys' pen and paper if you're old school, kind of like me, and make sure to take notes, but most importantly, implement imperfectly. Okay, so let's jump into the 3 steps that you need to do to be able to sign your first $3,500 online fitness client. The very first step here is what we call the in-demand coach, okay? So the in-demand coach, if you look at it, most nutrition and fitness coaches are considered invincible coaches. To where it's like, yeah, you're really good like in person, you're really good on the gym floor, the brick and mortar, the practice, the clinic, wherever you're at, right? But online, it's a whole different world. It's like you feel like you're invincible. You feel like you're the best kept secret. Come on, am I lying? Be honest, okay? We felt like this before too, trust me, so I know. In order to flip the script on that, from going from invincible coach, we gotta go to the in-demand coach, to where it's like, man, I'm in demand, right? I have the keys to be able to sit there and fix any type of problem that the prospect needs once we identify that. I'm the shit, basically, right? To where it's like you went to school, you did all your certifications, you have all this knowledge, expertise, these gifts, so many time working with people. Like how do we transfer that all like online and like be the in-demand coach? Almost like if you think about this, right? Whenever Apple releases something, I think they just released like a skinny like phone. I haven't even seen it, but I'm like, oh my God, here we go again, another product launch from Apple. Have you ever seen some of like those crazy Apple fans where they literally wrap around the lines of like an Apple store or Best Buy store or something like in the mall? I want you to think about the in-demand coach, like imagine that, right? In your mind, to where it's like a virtual line wrapped around your guys' online brick and mortar, right? Per se, in this, people are just waiting in line to work with you because you're in demand, okay? So that's the type of mindset I want. And within that, there's 3 things though, right? It's breaking limiting beliefs, okay? You have to break any false belief pattern. There's usually 5 false belief patterns that are really holding us back. It's a scarce money mindset, it's fear of getting started, fear of failure, fear of success, I would say too, imposter syndrome, and then comparison syndrome, those 5 things. So you really have to tame those, right? To where it's like, if you let them get out of control like a wildfire, metaphorically speaking, how do we tame those fires so it doesn't burn down the whole entire forest, right? Because the limiting beliefs, guys, they're gonna pop up here and there. It doesn't matter what level you're at. If anybody says, oh, I don't have any limiting beliefs or anything like that, they're fully, you know what, okay? It's like, come on. Okay, the second part with the in-demand coach is the 3 C's. So we learned this from our coach, Yuri Elkaim, right? So he said, so basically the first thing you have to do is get clarity. So get clarity on the vision of like, where do you wanna go with this business, okay? So the second C is conviction. So it's like, once you have the clarity, what that's gonna bring is it's gonna bring conviction to where it's just like, man, I'm so confident in like attaining this vision, this goal, and I have such clarity that I'm just gonna literally take off, right? And I'm so convicted about it. And the third C with that is basically consistency. So once you have the clarity, the conviction, it's like, now you got to be consistent at putting in the reps and sets every single day to build this business. And the third part about the in-demand coach is you're accountable for your awareness. So look, I mean, you're the expert. So it's like, you have to really buy into that, right? Like really believe that, like drink your own Kool-Aid, to where it's like, man, I am accountable for my awareness, for my insight, my knowledge, my expertise to share this with people. That's why I think sometimes too, where people are just like, I'm just good with being a personal trainer. I'm just good with being a nutritionist in like a clinic or a practice. I think it's selfish in a way. It's like you're making it about yourself instead of the greater mission of serving and helping way more people, because you have so much knowledge, you have so much awareness. So it's like you're responsible for that, to get that out to people, even virtually. Okay, so kind of to wrap up like these 3 parts within being the in-demand coach and the mindset with that, if you look at this right here, the screenshot, this is from Mark Nendick. He's out in Canada, right? And he's a personal trainer that built a hybrid model as well too. He had some of these kind of issues where he needed to break some beliefs, right? He needed to sit there and have more clarity within some of these 3 C's and have a higher conviction, right? Once he did that, he worked with us in our mentorship. As you guys can see right here, he had a $10,000 payday from just a launch, from letting people know about his online program. Okay, if you're finding some good value in this video already, just from that first point right there, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, and keep getting notifications when more of these videos come out from us. Okay, the second step now to being able to sign your first $3,500 online fitness client is creating your high ticket transformation offer. That's why we call it a high ticket transformation offer, to where it's like, look, this isn't just like basically an online program. This isn't just an offer, right? This is literally a transformation process. Because too many people, right, will think like, oh, it's a program, okay? As soon as you say program, it's watered down. It's basically commoditized. To where it's like, oh, I've tried a program before. A program that's like logging into a bunch of like digital videos, and maybe I have like an app that I can log into. I consume a bunch of things, or I have downloadable worksheets and stuff like that. You don't want your prospect to think like that. You want them to think like, this is so different, because different is better than being better, okay? So with that, it's a transformation process that will change your life, your habits, your skills, everything within health and fitness to get you to the end destination. Okay, you have to position and sell it like that. That's why it's called a high ticket transformation offer. That was a little bonus tip right there. Okay, within the high ticket transformation offer, there's 3 things I want you to really focus on, okay, to be able to get this $3,500 client. The first one kind of pair up with each other, right? So this is like finding your bleeding neck problem. So again, we learned this from our mentor, Uriel came as well too. So where it's like so many people focus on solving a stubbed toe problem within health and fitness. It's like, no. They're not going to pay you $3,500 for a stubbed toe problem. But if you can position this and figure out what is that bleeding neck problem, to where this is very high persistence, very high severity, it's constantly on their mind. They're in so much pain. It's affecting their work, their relationships, their career. Do you not think they're going to give you guys $3,500 in exchange for you getting rid of that forever? Absolutely. Okay, so you have to figure out what that bleeding neck problem is that you're solving. Within that, it has to be the perfect future client as well too. So bleeding neck problem, solving for a perfect future client. Who's that avatar? Who's that person, right, that we're serving, that one singular target market? Now, the second part here with creating your high ticket transformation offer is the offer star. So if you look at a star, right, there's 5 different kind of components on that. And we teach this in our accelerator mentorship, right? This is why our students are able to sell $1,000 to $3,000 programs, right? Because they include this offer star, right, on top of having like some sales skills as well too. So the first one with the offer star is you want to get the outcome with the deadline on point. There's got to be a very clear outcome, right? If it's tangible, hey, losing 30 pounds in 12 weeks, so be it. Okay, that's an example of an outcome that's very tangible, right? Coupled with a deadline, okay? Now the second part is a roadmap. So it's like, once we're like, hey, you're gonna lose 30 pounds in 12 weeks, well, we need a roadmap / process, or a specialty or unique process or a unique method of like, how am I gonna get there? You can't just be like, okay, we're just gonna get you down like with just like a diet and exercise. Like, no, like you guys got to show maybe a visual here. You got to walk them through like, what are these phases? What's the system? What's the process? What's the blueprint? All that stuff on there, okay? Now, the third part in this offer star is then having some sort of bonuses, okay? They can't be bonuses where it's like, I'm just gonna throw in like a grocery checklist or something like that. That's just making things harder for them to be able to sit there and achieve like the outcome. So you want bonuses that are very high value, that's gonna make them actually help them get to the outcome a lot faster on there. So maybe think about like more time with you, right? Maybe it's like, unlocks a training, right? That's like really, really, really awesome, right? Maybe it's like, you know, you send them something, right? That's like a DEXA scan or something like that, or you have like a meal prep delivery that couples up with your offer or something like that, something that's going to help them out a lot with a high bonus level. Now, the fourth part of this offer star is having some sort of scarcity, urgency, and then a risk removal on there, okay? So scarcity basically is a measure of how many people, right, that you're maybe taking on, right? Urgency is more of like, you know, a measure of like time. So we're basically starting like on Monday. We're not going to do this again until, 3 months. Scarcity, it's like we're only taking 5 people on this month type of thing. So scarcity, urgency, and then having some sort of risk removal, right? So where it's like, maybe you put on a partial guarantee, maybe it's a full guarantee, maybe it's your money back, maybe it's an anti-guarantee, maybe it's a conditional guarantee, right? But some sort of guarantee where it's a risk removal to where it puts more risk on you, the coach, and it gets more reward on them on there, okay? Now the fifth part on this offer star is what we call financial engineering. So that's your price structure. If you continuously like change your price structure and test more things out, you're going to sit there and close more people, okay? You can't just be that person where it's like, you're so set in stone where it's like, hey, option 1, pay in full, option 2, it's a payment plan type of thing, 3 monthly payments. You can do that, and if you get away with that, great, but most of the time, it's not gonna work all the time. So it's like you have to test different price structures, right? To manipulate some of the numbers, to get them in at a lower number, to maybe they're financing a bigger amount and then the payments are lower down the road, something like that, right? But it's called financial engineering on there. So if you include those 5 things in the offer star into your guys' offer, you're gonna be golden. Now, the third part here with the creating your high ticket transformation offer is inspirational sales. So this is a process that we teach called inspirational sales. Again, you're not hard selling, you're not persuading people, you're not being desperate, you're inspiring them to take action. This is health and fitness, guys. They just need some inspiration from you, the coach, to get them to the next level on there. So we're just inspiring them to take action. And if they take action, right, well, great, right? That maybe that choice is with us, right? And we coach them through the process and inspire them through the process on there, okay? So with that said, though, you have to have some sales skills, right? You can't just be like, oh, I'm not good at sales, and then you expect to sell a $3,500 program over Zoom. It's not going to work that way, right? You have to put in the reps and sets. If you have a 10% close rate, right, that means like you're closing 1 out of 10 calls. But if you got better and turn that into a 30% close rate, you're closing now 3 out of 10 calls. So if you have $3,500 that you're selling once per month with a 10% close rate, but then you bump that up to the next month to 30%, 3 out of 10, we'll do the math, right? 3 times 3,500, what is that like? Basically over 10 grand. You see the difference, right? On how powerful sales is on there. So you got to get good at sales. Now that you understand the 3 different things I talked about with creating this high ticket transformation offer, right? If you take a look at Colette right here, right? She was in the accelerator mentorship, and she basically first started out with us, I think 6 months prior to that, where she was making like $2,000 to $3,000 a month, right? And it's because she didn't have these 3 components, right, in her offer. She was charging, I think, like $1,500, which isn't too bad, but we got her to raise it up a little bit. But it's like we inserted these things here to where it's like the positioning, right, the sales process, her sales skills was a lot more attractive, to where it led to being able to have her first 10K month ever, right? And then she had started having reoccurring 10K months from there. Okay, and step number 3 here to sign your first $3,500 online fitness client is what we call the fitness empire ecosystem, okay? So I want you to think about like a triangle here, okay? So on the top part of this, it's called attract, okay? And we teach this in our accelerator mentorship, right? Because if you get this ecosystem down, you're building a machine here later for your business, okay? This is how you build an online business. So the first top part of it right here, it's attract. That's everything with like lead generation, social media, content creation. Is it paid advertisement? Is it organic? Is it borrow traffic, JVs, collaborations, host beneficiaries, hustling outside social media? So many different things on how do we attract clients, right, to our brand. Now, the second part here on this triangle here is capture. That's basically converting clients. So we first attract clients, then we capture them, right? Convert them. So that's your sales process. That's your offer. That's your sales skills. That's what we call a technique called sell by text, of getting very good at getting people from DMs to text or emails and moving them on to calls. And the third part here in the triangle, right, is coaching. So that's where you, the coach, come in, and that's where you have your badass sauce, right? To where it's like, yep, I'm the health and fitness coach, right? I am the expert in X, Y, Z, whatever it is, and you get to coach people. Right? That's like where you deliver your expertise and you productize like your intellectual property up here into a digital format, right? That's how you create systems, processes, how we scale the business, right? Are we going to add adjacent products? Are we going to sit there and have a continuation program, upsells, resells, downsells? Are we going to have a team that comes on, right? You see what I'm saying? That's where the whole coaching department comes on here. But if you have this whole ecosystem here built, attract, capture, coaching, right there in the middle, right, is the outcome. That's you basically having a 10K a month type of business, right? Towards 6 figures, which is like, that's how you do it, right? There's only 3 ways: attract, capture, coaching. That's how you get to 6 figures, right? So that's something I really want you to like study and just understand, okay? If you look at Juan right here, right? He was like one of our early students in the mentorship too. So this took him a year, guys, but basically he was doing in-person coaching only. And he did some online coaching too on the side, but he's only charging like $200 a month, right? But he implemented these other things, right? The in-demand mindset coach, the high-ticket transformation offer concepts. And then we helped him over a year build this fitness empire, ecosystem, right? To where he had the track, capture, coaching. And look at the screenshot right here. He had his first basically 100K year on there, okay? So I just want you guys to see it works. You just have to put in the work and you have to have a good system to be able to do it. All right, thank you so much for your time and watching this. I truly appreciate it. Hopefully you got a lot of value on this. Rewatch it, take some notes on here because there's a lot of value inside this video if you take imperfect action. So what I like to do after our videos is I always like to lead with or end with a prayer, okay? If you're uncomfortable with that, all good, but I want to serve people that need prayer. We all need prayer, right? Especially everything that's going on in the world these days. So let me lead that and I'm going to tell you what to do next, okay? Father God, thank you so much for this opportunity in this video to be able to help health and fitness coaches with these 3 steps, Lord. I just ask you to have them implement imperfectly, right? Don't overthink it. Don't let them get paralysis by overanalysis. Don't let them get stuck in quicksand in their minds and let fear overtake them. Give them a spirit of courage, of bravery, of conviction to know their value, know their worth, and the amazing work that they are doing in this world to end diseases, cure diseases, reverse disease as health and fitness coaches. So I ask this in your name and I pray, amen. Hopefully you received that. Okay, the next thing, if you guys want to expedite this and you guys don't want to implement or anything like that, see the link in the description and take us up on our free 15-minute business growth call. You can't buy anything. We're not even going to sell you anything. We just want to see if it's a good fit and if it makes sense and if we can truly help you out. So make sure to click that link right there in the description box. Or if you don't want to take us up on that call, make sure to watch this next video right here where we go behind the scenes on one of our coaching sessions in Accelerator Mentorship. And we're actually coaching some of our coaches over the shoulder, and you guys can take some of the nuggets out of there and apply it into your business. We'll see you in the next video.